Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm Anthony. You're watching Palmetto Prepared. Today we're going to be doing another episode, the second to last episode of End of the World Nutrition, and this one's going to be on vitamins. Now there are 13 different essential vitamins the body needs to get, and when I say essential, it's just like with amino acids, you need to eat them and get them in your diet or have them supplemented to you intravenously in some cases, but for the most part, you eat them through your diet. And there are two classifications of those. One is fat soluble, the second is water soluble. So let's get into individually and I'll tell you what they are. Now in this video I'm going to try to hit every single vitamin to tell you three different things about them. First, what the vitamin actually does. Second, what the deficiencies are. If you do not have enough of this vitamin, what's going to actually happen to you. And third, the sources of how you can get these vitamins in your everyday life. First, we're going to start with the fat-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble meaning it is stored in your body fat. This usually means that it's a lot easier because you can eat so much of them and then it'll store in your body as long as you have fat. It'll store in your body for quite a long time. So having deficiencies in these are actually kind of rare these days. They still exist, but that's what fat-soluble means. It binds to your fat. And the first one we're going to hit is vitamin A. Now, vitamin A is essential for your growth, like your cell growth, reproductive system, cell development for your reproductive system, your immune function, obviously your eyesight. Every time you hear vitamin A, people think of carrots and their eyesight, and eyesight is definitely one of them. More specifically, the conversion from daylight to nighttime, so you actually get that night vision. Some people with if you have good vitamin A, you're much better at going outside and your night vision adjusting versus kind of walking around blind. Obviously, that leads to deficiencies, meaning dry eyes, dry skin, night blindness, that kind of thing. And where you get this is usually going to be in cold water fish, egg yolks, organ meats. Now, I'm going to say this a lot in a lot of these. Organ meats. When you eat animals, if you do eat animals, a lot of people don't pay attention to like liver and kidney and heart. If you are normally in life, you really don't eat a lot of organ meat. Sure, there's going to be a lot of fans of liver, but you're going to hear this in quite a few of these vitamins, but organ meats are very high in vitamins, so don't ignore them, especially in a grid down scenario or a survival scenario. Milk, sweet potatoes, carrots, leafy greens, basically anything that's yellow or orange in the vegetable world is going to have a lot of vitamin A in it. Alright, vitamin D, another fat-soluble vitamin. It's going to aid in calcium absorption. Obviously, a lot of these vitamins are going to require the vitamin in order to absorb certain minerals. So vitamin D aids in calcium absorptions for your bones and teeth health, and it's also for your mood and immune system. Lack of vitamin D means you get lack of calcium absorptions, which is obviously going to give you bone brittleness, and your mood levels will be down. That's why they say, hey, all you need is a little bit of sunshine, because guess what one of the sources is? Sunshine. Probably one of the main sources, because you can just sit in the sun and actually make vitamin D. Also, mushrooms are a good source, and fish. But if you really want to get the most from vitamin D, go sit outside. Go get in the sun. UV light. Perfect. That's how you get vitamin D. Alright, another one of the fat-soluble is vitamin E. This was going to be an antioxidant, and it's going to protect you against free radical. And when I say free radical, I mean the byproducts of your cells naturally working. Are going to make waste and byproducts. So when those waste and byproducts are made, they're supposed to go to the kidneys and get peed out, that kind of thing. But sometimes they stick in the body a little bit. Well, if you have a lot of vitamin E or antioxidants, then it's going to help get those out of you. So you want to have more antioxidants. It's going to cleanse your body a little bit. So that's what vitamin E is. It's very rare these days to get a deficiency in vitamin E, but when you do have one, you usually have problems with your central nervous system like dizziness, disorientation, and some weakness, muscle weakness. But the best sources of it are vegetable oils and nuts and seeds. So you'll hear, hey, you eat some vitamin, get some vitamin E. Oh, we'll eat some pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, peanuts. Not say peanuts, but walnuts, pecans, a lot of nuts. Alright, vitamin K. This is the last of the fat-soluble vitamins I'm going to discuss, and it is essential for blood clotting. You're going to hear a lot of people that are, say, alcoholics have a really big problem with vitamin K because alcoholism makes your vitamin K levels low, and usually when you have a low, like a deficiency of vitamin K, you can't quite blood clot. That means you bruise a lot more easily, and it's going to take a lot longer to say you got a cut or whatever, it's going to take a lot longer for you to clot up that cut. So you have to hold pressure on it, have a bandage, and it's just going to be a little bit discomforting. But the main issue I wanted to talk about here is for ladies out there. If you have low vitamin K, you're probably going to experience heavier menstrual cycles because obviously that is a bleed, and if you have less clotting agents in your blood, then you're going to bleed more and heavier. Also, one of the sources for you, especially ladies, you definitely need to get some vitamin K is in leafy greens, dark leafy greens. If you don't eat vegetables, then you really should reconsider because dark leafy greens are probably your best source of vitamin K, along with cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and broccoli. Alright, now that brings me to water-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins are actually a little bit more important because since they are not stored in your body fat except one, you have to eat these a lot more often because if you don't eat these more often, then your body it pees them out. You will pee them out. So you need to eat them constantly because you can't store them. So things like vitamin C and a lot of these B vitamins, you will pee them out regularly. So that's why you need to keep eating them and why it is so important. Now, obviously, the first one I'm going to get into is vitamin C. Vitamin C being a very, very, very important antioxidant. It is crucial to the repair of tissue, wound healing. It is key to the absorption of iron. So if you have anemia or blood iron issues, then you need to take vitamin C with an iron supplement to make sure that you're absorbing it. And it supports your immune function. Obviously, one of the deficiency signs is scurvy. I'm sure we've all heard of scurvy. A lot of pirates had issues with scurvy because, let's face it, you need to eat this vitamin often because it's a water-soluble vitamin, and on long voyages and you don't pack vitamin C away, then you will get, unfortunately, very, very sick. So scurvy, bleeding, tooth loss, gum bleeding, that kind of thing, and anemia. Obviously anemic problems because you can't absorb iron without vitamin C. So some of the best sources of vitamin C are, surprisingly, bell peppers, more specifically red bell peppers. Berries, any kind of berry, your citrus fruits, and tomatoes. Also, say if you were one of the pirates back in the day, or obviously seafaring person, seaweed is a very good source of it as well. They had a source right in the water. They didn't take advantage of it. But yes, those are good sources of vitamin C. Definitely eat bell peppers, berries, and if you are in a grid down scenario, most of the geographical North America has some form of berry at some point in the year, so make sure you cultivate those and learn to store those, obviously dry, freeze, that kind of stuff, okay? Alright, now this is going to lead me into the final one I want to talk about, and it's the B-complex vitamins. Now this consists of quite a few vitamins, but I'm just going to call them all B-complex. They are going to be thiamine, B1, riboflavin, B2, niacin, B3, pantothenic acid, B5, pyridoxine, B6, biotin, B7, folate and folic acid as B9, and cobalamin, B12. Now, obviously some of these we know as their normal name, other ones we know as their B counterpart, but I'm going to lump them all into the same category for this except one I'm going to get to right at the end of this. But all B vitamins are water soluble. You pee them out, you need to get them often. And most of them, their main characteristic, the whole purpose of having them in your body is for your metabolism. To make sure that you're using your energy sources of, the macronutrients we've been talking about efficiently and effectively. So you need to eat these B vitamins so that means your body works like it's supposed to. I.e. blood sugar metabolism, making new red blood cells, supporting your DNA and RNA. Now, obviously, deficiencies would cause a problem with that. You're not obviously using the energy you should be, and you have problems making new red blood cells, that kind of stuff. Some of the best sources for all of these are lean meats, nuts, seeds, dairy, beans, grains, potatoes, and avocados. However, the one thing that I wanted to hit here hard and talk about is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is very essential to your energy production, that kind of thing, metabolism. And the main issue I'm hitting here is the only way you can get it is through meats or animal byproducts. So if you are a vegan, if you are a vegan, you are most likely going to be deficient in B12 unless you supplement. So you have to have a food fortified in this vitamin to make sure that you are getting enough of it. Now, a lot of stuff out there has fortified food things in there, grains, cereals, that kind of stuff. They're all fortified, meaning they're artificially added to the process. But if you are in a grid down scenario and you can't buy fortified foods, then yes, you will have to eat an egg or a piece of meat at some point just to get your vitamin B12. It is that important and it's very crucial. You cannot get this from the plant world. There's only one source that I can think of that I've been doing research on that actually corroborates, that shows there's a little bit in there, and that is nori, a seaweed. So unless you live on the coast, there's going to be no plant form that you're going to be able to get B12. You have to eat some form of animal product. Unfortunately, that is life. That's how you get B12. B12 deficiencies can lead to depression and can lead to vast energy problems. People with tapeworms have the B12 problem. So that's the kind of thing you have to pay attention to. And another point I wanted to add here about B vitamins, if you are a pregnant woman, then you have a definite need to get B9, folic acid. Obviously, if you've been pregnant before, the doctor has probably told you about folic acid, but it is very important for pregnancy to make new red blood cells for the growing baby, and is to make sure it kind of keeps away a lot of those birth defects. And obviously, some of the best places to get folic acid are leafy greens and liver, your organ meats. All right, I'm sorry that may have taken a little while. I tried to keep it as interesting as possible. I know that can get a little bit dry, but vitamins are very crucial to your growth, development, maintenance of your body. You need to have them. You're going to find them in a lot of things out in the world. That's why if you don't eat vegetables now, you definitely have to eat vegetables in the grid down scenario, that kind of thing, a survival scenario. That's why growing your own garden or foraging is going to be so important. You can't hope to get all these vitamins and stuff just from stashing away foods. Yes, it's going to be nice, but there's obviously a finite amount of stuff that you can stash, and you got to be able to go out in the world to be able to find some of these. Now you're going to get some of your foraging things like plantain, dandelions that have a lot of these vitamins and trace minerals in them. Know them, find them in your area, get used to recognizing them so you can get some of these vitamins. That way you can stave off things like scurvy. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. If you liked what I had to say or learned absolutely anything from here, please give me a thumbs up. It really, really, really helps with the algorithm. Comment down below. Share the video with someone who you think might like this kind of stuff. And I will catch y'all later. All right?